Yeah, this the, you can peruse this.
So
This
everybody
is
knows this recording does get posted online to our local WRPS TV station.
Right. That is a correspondence I received from the base, my most recent.
Kevin, not a copy of
What I could do is I could send you a copy. I just thought if you want to peruse it while I'm boring the snot out of everyone else. Like I said, I'm very cross. Okay, I want to welcome everyone to today's meeting, working session of the Rockland Board of Sewer Commissioners. This meeting today is being taped for playback later on WRPS YouTube. The items on the agenda are those anticipated by the chair. Other items not listed may be brought up to the extent permissible by law. With that, I'll take a motion to open the meeting.
Motion to open.
I have a motion and I'll go second. So all in favor, Ms. Valley?
Yes.
And Mr. Hessian is a yes. Mr. Duras is absent today. I don't know if he'll be coming later. The way we plan the meeting today would be opening up on the, as everyone knows, we'll be doing a, part of the upgrade is the immediate need is a generator replacement, which will be taking care of that. The generator is being treated separately from the upgrade as it'll be installed because of emergency needs. The overall, there will be a complete facility, so you're aware, a complete facility upgrade, which will include a full electrical in the next stage, which is in the design portion right now. I don't know when we'll be requesting bids, but I foresee probably August sooner,
for
the stage 1 upgrade.
that's at least a year and a half.
Oh, before we do bids?
For
For bids?
I thought you were working on the bid design now.
No, that's the agreement Kevin just sent you.
Oh, okay.
Is to start that.
Okay, but there'll be a full upgrade included at a later date of the entire system. We're gonna give everyone till 1:15 to show up if they have any intention on bidding on the generator. If not, you guys feel free to go through and do your thing. If you want to tour the whole shooting match, Adam's gonna be doing a little tour. You can more than welcome that. The first thing I want to go over, Sherry, is the proposed fee increase for development. Did you give any more food, any thought to that? I mean, I'm not looking for a vote today. I would like to get Dan's input. I am going to bring it up at Thursday evening's meeting as well, so people know it's going to happen. For the residents who will be watching this, we currently charge $20 a gallon for residential and development use for basic sewer usage. That 20 gallons, a gallon comes into effect, also plays into effect when we do our 11-1 calculations for development fees. Those fees are waived for those under 440 gallons a day. I am proposing going up to $30 a gallon. I would entertain leaving it at $20 or at least, no, excuse me, $25 a gallon for residential. But these are things I think we should need to talk about. We're in dire need of funding some revenue now, or it's going to go into probably Pandora's box as potential new development. I would not have that impact any projects that are on our current, as of today's, waiting list. Anything on the pending list, it will affect those. So I don't want to move anyone from the pending list onto that waiting list until we have this all done. Now, I've also put a phone call into town council because my concerns are a certain project screaming up at arms. Because they're still under the assumption, I believe, that their fees are based on 2020 pricing. And that's a no. So we've had 2 increases since then.
And when you
I
say
am also not ruling out the potential of a sewer usage, additional sewer users rate. I know we went up 10% of submitted new numbers to Weston and Sampson to calculate into their rate study, and I've yet to hear back from them. The reason the additional rate increase may be necessitated is due to the rising costs we saw that electricians are charging us for the generator. These were wrongly assumed that COVID prices would stabilize. Being the good capitalistic society we are, those prices have never dropped, so we got a little bit of a sticker shock on some of the HVAC and electrical work. And it looks like we're gonna be about $300,000 short. So those fees have to come out of somewhere. Speaking of which, I need to know what accounts we can modify that would require a special town meeting approval to take some of those funds and apply them to the electrical. Again, no decision now, just food for thought if you give that, so I can put a bug in Doug's ear.
Okay. Let me work up an FY25
We may have to,
budget.
shorten some of those
We may have to
estimates, yeah, moving on.
rethink some things.
Unless you got anything more to say, that's all I have to say on that.
I think we still need to make an official vote on the user fees increase.
I know we need an official vote on the user fee increase, but we have an official vote at 10%.
No,
We
did
voted on that, if that was for last year.
We did it for the minimum, not the consumption charges.
All right, then we will do that Thursday night.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Okay, I'll do that Thursday night on a Zoom meeting.
Yep.
With that, I'm gonna turn the meeting over to Adam Higgins from Wright Pierce on the generator replacement, because time is money and these guys need to go out and earn a buck.
Okay.
So you're on.
Thanks, Jeff.
Paul is the only bidder, so only when it shows.
So a couple quick introductions. Chuck is the sewer commissioner, contacted in the town of Rockland. Rick Tooch is the project manager for Veolia, who's not here today. Chuck is the mechanic who will answer a lot of questions, most likely, and assistant project manager.
Jesse is the assistant project, he's new on board. Any history for that generator, that's the brain to pick.
Okay, awesome.
And feel free at any time to contact him directly.
I'll give you my cards.
Sure.
For Wright Pierce, Kevin Olson's the project manager, he's not here today. Myself, Adam Higgins, lead project engineer. Lydia is accompanying me as our intern for the summer. So a couple just quick housekeeping things to get through, and then we can head out and take a look at things.
Okay.
But really, since you're the only one here, we can move through this pretty quickly. But really, this is just a pre-bid conference to go through a little bit of the scope of work, and then we leave the site visit part of it up to you to ask whatever questions you want to ask, and we'll get any official answers out in an addendum. So far, no addendum have been issued. The plans, if you haven't obtained them, can be obtained on our website, which is linked on the agenda.
Yep.
You should be able to download the drawings, the specs, and the wage rates as 3 separate files.
I have to do that still, so.
Obviously, the location of this project is here at the wastewater plant. It's in the building just down that way. We'll go see it. Prevailing wages do apply, as do workforce participation goals. This is a quick moving project, so this is long overdue, long time coming to get this generator replaced. It's on its last legs.
Yeah.
We pre-purchased the generator, and it's actually going to be on site this week. So
Is there a portable on site, or?
There is no portable.
No portable?
So part of the scope of work for the electrical contractor will be to provide temp power.
Yeah.
But
If I may, just say one thing, when you look at the scope and when you're in your decision process, if you're deciding whether to bid or not, all I ask is for you to give us your realistic timeframes. Once we sign the contract, I will hold you to them, but
Yep.
other than that, just, be realistic.
yeah, we have 6 months now as substantial completion, understanding that the generator is already gonna be here. So hopefully that is a good thing for you, and if you have an issue with it, bring it up as a question and we can issue it, or address it by addendum.
I definitely will.
So general bids are due in mid-July. Part of that will be making sure you have all the required forms, including confirmation of all the addenda issued, bid form, bid security, which is 5%, DCAM eligibility and update statement, and certificate of authority to sign. So all the normal stuff.
Yeah.
Filed sub-bid, the only one we expect is HVAC, and that'll really just be the piping scope between the fuel supply and the radiator.
Gotcha.
So, sub-bids are due next week. We'll see if we get an extension request. for
Can
that.
we add upon that, the bids due?
Mhm.
Do we want to extend that to see?
We certainly can. We can do it by addendum. I typically will wait for a request to come in for
Okay.
that. But if it's looking like we don't have a lot of interest, we can certainly extend it proactively.
Okay,
And whatever we extend the sub-bid date by, the general would get extended by the same amount.
and if we extend that date, we have to publish that,
It would go through addendum, yes.
so, but it has to be published.
Like through central register and combis and all
Yes.
that stuff, you mean? It would just be issued to the existing plan holders, so those who have taken it out already,
We have a log of those?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, it's all tracked through our website.
okay,
And then, it does get automatically updated through combis. I don't know about central register.
okay.
Let's see here. So sub-bids similar to GC, confirmation of all addenda, completed sub-bid form, which is actually, the form isn't in the specifications right now. We're gonna add it in the first addendum. Bid security is 5%, DCAM eligibility and update statement, and certificate of authority to sign. So for the bid openings, the sub-bid is due, like I said, next week, Tuesday, the 25th at 1 o'clock. They will be received here, hard copy, and opened aloud by Chuck.
That will be an open public meeting, so everyone's welcome to attend that bid opening.
The general contractor bids are due the 16th of July, which is a Tuesday, 1 o'clock, same thing, hard copy and opened by Chuck. The general bid includes 2 items, the first being the lump sum for the replacement work, and the second being the HVAC sub work. The contract, if awarded, will be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder. Part of the awarding contractors, initial work will be to submit a construction sequencing plan, which again will require standby power to be provided at all times during the work. Any permits that are required, building, plumbing, electrical, fees for those will be waived by the town.
Okay.
But they are the responsibility of the contractor to take those out. Any material testing, which I don't think there'll be any for this project, but if there is, the contractor will be responsible for paying for that. Staging area, we'll figure out, but it's likely out by the fuel tank, which is behind the building. We aren't fully sure. I don't think Rick's figured out where the generator is going to be stored yet.
Actually, we kind of did figure it out. When I was,
Okay, run that question back again, I was one sat right here.
The generator, when it arrives this week, it needs to be stored somewhere.
Yep, okay.
Until the contractor's ready for it. Rick hadn't let me know where that was gonna be, but it sounds like.
it's gonna be right outside the back of the building where we have the bay doors entrance, so where we're going to pull up the old gen, put the new gen in.
Oh, from that.
So it's gonna be right back, right to the right. We'll have a spot cleared for that, and should be good.
I'll ask the questions when I get up.
Yeah.
They're ready to start.
Let's see. Refer to the submittal section in the specs. Right now, we're planning to just do email transfer, so you would send it in to us, we would respond and send it back,
Okay.
all via email. Like I said, the generator's been pre-purchased, it's arriving this week, and the cutoff for questions right now is Thursday the 21st for sub-bidders, and Thursday, July 11th for general bidders. That obviously will get extended if the bid dates get extended. But that allows us to issue an addendum on the Friday before the bid opening on a Tuesday, so.
To avoid any, and I'm saying this on public record, if extensions are required to give sound quotes, I have no problem doing so, because I don't want anyone to feel like they're rushed to it. I want factual numbers, and I'll work with anyone that needs it. So if any of the vendors who opt not to show today, again, if you wish for an extension on the bid deadline, please let us know.
Yep. Any questions from contractors and subcontractors, send them to me via email. So adam.higgins@wright-pierce.com.
Do you have a card?
I do.
Thank you.
And we'll respond to those via addendum. That's all I got for inside here, so we can head out to the building itself. Check it out.
Sure, you got a hot hat for him?
I'll take you right to the switch gear from that point, and then we'll walk through the building. We'll go to where the generator is, and I'll show you the spot where we're going to put in the new generator that's coming in.
Okay.
And any other questions?
The one thing I have a question for you, Chuck, is I know one of the big concerns with the quick connect, disconnect, and the panel. I think they've all been addressed, correct?
The quick disconnect we just learned about, so that's a new item, and we figured we'd talk about that when the contract gets awarded to the person.
Okay.
Yeah, if I recall, that's for, in other words, if we ever did need a temp generator come in,
Right.
we have a quick connect.
But I think
now,
I think we were going to address that when we address the future upgrade. But if it needs be, if a contractor feels it's something, the electricians, whoever's going to get it, feels it's something that should be done now, I'd rather address it up front.
Yep.
now with that concern, I mean, towards the switchgear, I mean, we're replacing that switchgear, so
Yes.
with a quick connect, I mean, that's obviously something you're going to wire into the new switchgear, or
Yeah,
you
I
can
mean,
put a
You're
temp.
talking about like a portable lug cabinet? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Go do your thing.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
if
Yeah,
any more
yeah.
questions come up, any prints you need, any other facility, anything like that, Adam will gladly get you that.
all right, thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, same here.
We'll be back in.
Leave that open, lady. Kevin will be calling him, call him in around 2 o'clock because I wanted you to hear some of the things on the upgrade.
Yeah,
With Dan not here, I'll make this short and sweet for you.
all right. Dan's not coming for 2 o'clock, is he? Is he?
No.
Okay.
You don't even have to be here if you don't want to. This is just that they were, to me, it's just a status upgrade.
I thought, yeah, okay.
It's totally up to you. To
I
me,
got a little mixed up on what times things were starting, so
Yeah,
I just
no.
showed up at the agenda time.
yeah, no.
But it's good.
Okay, let's go on to drainage. I have a call into, I did place a call into the EPA and Mass DEP on drainage, specifically section, chapter 83, sections 4 and 5, which details responsibilities for sewer and highway. And they said if we have any doubt on the interpretation, then we're basically the only municipality that does how it's interpreted. Drainage seems to be a very serious bone of contention now with highway and sewer. I'm just going to be referring to it in generalities, and I'm directing it to you since you more or less kick the can down the road with your email, which personally, I thought your email was very professional and the response was off the wall. My feeling was, and I was gonna put it to you, because I think this is your call, do we make that email public record for now?
Well, I think any government email is public record, so.
But I'm talking Thursday night, do we disclose that, or do we try to handle it discreetly? Now, let me tell you what was been offered to get the town hall to hire, quote unquote, an independent mediator. And I'm gonna be very blunt with you, to everyone. My feeling is that if it is hired by town hall, that it will be skewed to the person who's paying them. We've been told I don't want to go into the email. I just think this is well beyond an independent mediator. I think I want to, my preference is to call the Secretary of State's office to find out what options are available in the state to bring this to closure and how we got to this point, which means go right down the line. The bottom line of the email is that the sewer commissioners, and you jump in if I'm wrong, are being perceived as liars and as a joke. I don't know if it's an individual. I took it as everyone with the line, everyone can see through it, to mean everyone at town hall. I think we have been, and I do want to say one thing, that we've been nothing but upfront. And if anyone doubts, they've had the opportunity to come and see us. This is a touchy subject right now, and I want to make sure I handle this right.
Exactly.
So I want you to think about it and you to advise me. We can bring Dan up to speed. My preference is to go to the state. I think we've screwed around long enough on this shit. But either way, we've still got to work because we're elected officials, and I will do that. But it's a two-way street from here on in.
Well, this is my concern. Right now, we're in a joint project. I want to make sure that that is handled properly and brought to a good closure when we're done with the project.
Like I said, my only concern with that, if you can maybe refresh my memory, when the project was first mentioned, to your recollection, and I believe the meeting is on tape, did we see a solid quote, or was it just...
We did have the quote and the numbers, yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
So that is
And
definitely
we didn't
our
have
fault.
any problem with that. No, my problem is that
In like services.
in-kind services, that is the problem. Because we were under the impression that our vendors and contractors would be considered that.
And that is
Seems how we don't
considered-
have staff,
But
but it's not.
So for the record, what we were considering vendor contract being Western Sampson's hours and Veolia's manpower hours.
Correct. And that was,
And
And
I think
that
it's our
was-
intention
and
onto that
then-
contract.
and then at our first meeting, which was several months into the project before we were actually included in a meeting, where it was pointed out that they are not eligible. Since that time, the project manager has recognized that Veolia is considered our sewer staff because we don't have individuals working directly for us. And so that she informed DEP that she would be submitting their time for in-kind services.
That's great. What about
So-
Western Sampson's?
I would say,
Okay, but even if we could get the in-kind services for Veolia's, that's a huge plus for us.
well, yeah, because that was our good faith. Yes, we'll do this project. Veolia is, and our superintendent would be the staff persons to provide those in-kind services.
See, and for the
And it was
record,
all
people, we no
good
longer
faith.
have a superintendent.
No.
He resigned on his own volition. He realized he was in over his head. I will reiterate this Thursday night. He gave it a good shot. It just wasn't working out. He recognized that. He is a consummate gentleman, a professional, and I have a great deal of respect the way he handled it.
What that
Well-
means in terms of the project that we're working with Highway
Right,
is that we did not have a person
to
to provide
dedicate.
those services. So
Now, obviously, we do.
it
Christian
seems
is
that,
handling it.
yes, Kristen, who works for Veolia, and it seems that that will be acceptable.
Okay, so again, I think that
So-
email was a little bit of a jump.
Well, there was nothing really directed at Highway. I was trying to impress on the environmental partners our current position and how we needed to have Veolia
I
considered.
thought that was very clear.
So, yeah, and it was not directed at Highway, and Highway was copied as a courtesy, so.
All right, so I want you to think about that, how you want to handle
Yeah,
it. I gave
I-
you my feelings. And again, you're the voice of reason here.
You know,
I mean, my cup runneth over with it.
I think this project just needs to be completed as best as we can, and then determine how we're just gonna handle day-to-day drainage issues.
Okay. But under the town charter,
I think the town charter says that we are the drainage.
right, we
company.
are the drainage commission. Town council can advise, they are not judge and jury.
Mhm.
I think what we are going to do is we're going to have a drainage meeting, once we figure out how we want to handle this, and see how we want to proceed. One of the options we have is to a special town meeting, turn drainage over the highway, and we walk away with the exception of sewerage.
Mhm.
But that's something I'll leave it up to them to discuss, but I want you to give it some thought. My anger was directed primarily because I took it as to calling you, and I thought you're the professional in amongst you're the rose amongst the thorns, so. That's all I'll say on that for now. Accounting matters, I have some real concerns.
Yeah.
I would, again, where we're gonna do is, I think when we look at Thursday night after the Holy Family vote, for the record, our flows coming in, we had a conversation with Wright Pierce and Weston Sampson before the meeting took place. Our flows coming in, as of today, right now, we're registering 2.53 coming into the plant. And if you remember, it's been very, very, very dry, and we're still seeing 2.53 million gallons coming in. We are beaucoup over capacity. This plant should not be seeing, on a period like this, should never see more than 1.8 million gallons a day. So it leads to say either we have a massive break that no one can seem to find, or we are literally over capacity. We pushed the plant too far. So we are actively pursuing I&I. We had a study done last year that said there's a possibility of 276,000 gallons of I&I that could be repaired. When we went in with the camera work and manhole investigations, the nitty-gritty investigation, it indicated only 28,000 gallons is repairable. So we recently completed the next two higher zones, and we're waiting on the numbers to do that and see. Hopefully we can find at least 100,000 gallons. That's not going to put a dent in it.
No.
There is another option on the table, but I need legal counsel's guidance on that. So, other accounting matters that you could think of pressing.
Did we find out anything about installing Center Avenue manholes?
No, I did not. I dropped the
Okay.
ball on that
That's
after
fine.
that email. I'll find out that.
We
Now, the question on Center Ave manholes, I mean,
have the manholes.
Yeah.
But
who's responsible? I think
Who's-
Highway's responsible for the installation, I believe.
okay, because there was a question if that was a state road or no.
It is a state road.
Okay, so it was kind of like the question was between state or highway doing the work?
State highway or sewer, I think it's gonna come down to probably sewer. but I'll find out for sure. What you got, kiddo?
That's about it. I looked at our applicants for part-time sewer clerk.
Okay, that's the next time, yeah?
Yep. Candidate C would be my choice. That was that person. I don't want to say any names until everyone's been
Right,
notified.
right, absolutely.
And the decision was made by evaluating factors within the position and a weight and rate scale of how these candidates met those factors.
And the individual that you recommended, she knows it's a part-time, possibly
Yes.
leading 4 to 5 years down?
Yes, very clear.
Is she interested in long-term?
Possibly.
Your call.
Yep.
I would say yes. I'll make a motion, we contact candidate C and offer the job.
So I did speak with the new HR director,
Well,
and she will take that over from that point on.
all
once
right,
we've
good,
made
but
this
we have to have a
decision.
motion to make the
Oh,
offer.
motion to accept candidate C.
I have a motion to accept candidate C as for the part-time position.
Second.
All in favor, Ms. Valley?
Yes.
Mr. Hessions, yes, that is unanimous. Mr. DeRoss is absent today.
Voted.
Seeing that there's no public forum, I'll take a motion in today's meeting.
Motion.
I have a motion, and I will second. All in favor?
Yes.
And I am a yes, it's also. Today's meeting of the Rockland Board of Sewer Commission is now over.